David, you're a bit of a political prognosticator, and my recollection is that you were pretty sure Scott Brown was not, in fact, going to be running for Senate in New Hampshire. It was just going maybe straight for the presidency, if anything. What changed, or what I should say, what do you think made him decide to take the plunge against Jeanne Shaheen?
I think that he wasn't looking at it seriously, but then he got so many entreaties from the Republicans up in New Hampshire. They really think that this is a winnable race if they get the right kind of turnout. New Hampshire swings very hard between Republican and Democrat, depending on the turnout. So they think they might be able to beat Jeanne Shaheen with a good candidate. They've been working him very hard. I think over time they wore him down and he took a serious look at it.
What about, do you think he just got feeling chippy too? Because I recall a public statement he made about how, if Jeanne Shaheen thought she was going to make him less likely to run by attacking him, well, she was probably doing the opposite. Anything to do with that?
I think by that point he had already made his decision. I don't think it was. I don't think it was about that. I think he, I think someone convinced him that it was worth that he had a real shot at it, and that it would be worth it to him, and he'd get the financial support that he needs.
Peter, do you think that Brown is as viable against Shaheen as David says the New Hampshire Republicans do?
I do, but before I answer that, I have to say I compliment David on his use of the word entreaty. I don't think since the death of William Buckley has that word been uttered on political commentary. So kudos, David. There's an interesting split, a dichotomy in the national press. You read the Washington Post, the Huffington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and the Scott Brown candidacy is treated quite seriously.
Yeah, the Times, too.
The New York Times, they all treat him very seriously. They point out, quite rightly, that he enters this as an underdog. But you read the Boston Globe, the Boston Herald, the local press, and it's like, Scott Brown's a has-been and also ran. He doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. Now, I exaggerate a little, but there's a real let's get Scotty attitude.
So who's right?
Well, I think the national press is right. And what the national press is right in pointing out is that by Scott Brown running, he is going to force the Democrats nationally to spend scarce resources in New Hampshire, thereby increasing the likelihood in the other 6 races that perhaps the Republicans will win. I think Scott Brown is a win-win for the Republicans, whether he wins in the end or not.
Okay, quick question before we wrap up. Scott Brown, I thought, had some trouble going after Elizabeth Warren in an effective way when he ran against her. I thought he looked really bad when he tried to go after her and go negative, and that helped him lose. Is he going to be able to do better with Shaheen? Quick.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes, because he has a better audience that he's a more suited audience that he has to go after. He doesn't have to try to go after an audience that is more towards the left that that's tougher for him to go after.
All right, there it is, guys. Thanks as always. Thanks for watching the Scrum. We'll see you again soon.